All right, today we're diving into a really specialized engineering toolbox called Energine. Now, its whole mission, its entire reason for being, is to hunt down and totally eliminate energy waste. So let's see exactly how it pulls that off. Okay, so let's kick things off with a pretty huge question. Think about these massive industrial plants or giant commercial buildings. Energy waste is literally everywhere, but it's often hidden in plain sight. So how on earth do you find it, measure it, and then actually capture millions of dollars in savings? Well, that's the exact puzzle Energine was built to solve.
And it all begins right here, at the login screen. Now, for an energy consultant, this isn't just some boring sign-in page. Nope. This is the gateway. It's the entry point to a platform that takes all this super complex thermodynamic data and, poof, turns it into clear, simple money-saving strategies.
Okay, once you're in, you land at what I'd call mission control. It's basically the central hub where an engineer can see the entire landscape of their work. A powerful, high-level view of every single project they've got going on.
So, this is it, the main dashboard. For an engineer, we'll just call him Ayush for now, this is where the day kicks off. And the best part? Instead of wrestling with a million different spreadsheets, he gets this incredible instant snapshot of his entire portfolio. We're talking active projects, real-time savings, the whole financial impact of his team's work, all right there in one single view. And this is the number that really makes the executives sit up and pay attention. We're looking at a projected annual savings across all projects of nearly 2.4 crore rupees, which, for perspective, is about 300,000 US dollars. I mean, that one single figure proves the absolutely massive financial upside you get from this kind of detailed energy work. But you know what? It's not just about the money. Look at this number, 1,234 megawatt hours saved in just 1 month alone. That is a huge reduction in operational load, a huge drop in the carbon footprint. This is the hard data that proves this work is making a real, tangible difference.
So, that begs the question, where do these projects even come from? Well, before you can run any of those complex calculations, you've got to lay the groundwork. And that always starts with the client.
See, every single project is really rooted in a business relationship. This client management screen acts as the central database, the master list, tracking every client, what industry they're in, and their project status. It's the foundation for everything that comes next. It gets even more detailed from there. I mean, if you want to effectively propose a big change, you need to know who you're talking to, right? So here, the engineer can literally map out the client's entire hierarchy. We're talking from the top company level down to a specific manufacturing plant and all the way down to a single piece of equipment. Okay, so with all those client details locked in, the project is officially launched. This is the moment where the scope gets defined. What's our starting point? Our baseline energy use? What's our target for reduction? Let's say 15%. This step is what transforms a simple client relationship into a formal, trackable, honest-to-goodness project. All right, project's all set up. Now we get to the really good stuff, the core of the platform, the engineering toolbox. This is where the raw data gets put under the microscope and gets transformed into some pretty powerful discoveries. Just think of this as a digital workshop for an energy engineer. It is packed with all these specialized tools for analyzing compressors, figuring out energy loads, optimizing super complex HVAC systems, you name it. Each tool is designed to diagnose a very specific part of a facility's energy profile. And this is where it gets really cool, where theory slams right into reality. So on the left, you've got a model of a perfect, ideal refrigeration cycle. But on the right, the tool overlays that perfect model with the actual data from the client's machine. You see that gap? That space between the blue ideal line and the red actual line? That right there, that is pure, raw inefficiency. That's money and energy just leaking away. So once you've found that inefficiency, how do you fix it? Check this out. The compressor analyzer here shows a direct relationship. As the engineer adjusts the suction temperature, the power consumption, that's the red line, just drops. The engineer can play with these settings, simulate all these changes to find that perfect sweet spot for maximum savings. Okay, so after analyzing all these different systems, the ECM tool, that stands for Energy Conservation Methods, it brings everything together. It crunches the numbers on all the potential savings from a bunch of different techniques, and then it rolls them all up into 3 key numbers: a total energy savings of 15.7%,
5.8 kilowatts of power saved, and over 140,000 rupees in annual savings.
Boom. Now look, having all this incredible engineering data is one thing. That's great, but you have to be able to communicate it to a client, right? In a way that makes business sense. This is where the platform helps turn all that complex data into a really compelling deal. And the process is just streamlined into 3 simple steps. First, the engineer plugs in some key parameters, like the local cost of electricity. Next, with a click, the system generates a professional-looking proposal using these great pre-built templates. And finally, and this is the most important part, it automatically quantifies the return on investment. And here's what comes out at the end. It's not some dense, hard-to-read engineering report. No, it's a clear, simple business case. It highlights the stuff that really matters. 20% energy savings, a carbon footprint reduction of 284 tons, and, the kicker for any decision maker, a return on investment in just 7 months. I mean, come on, that is an incredibly persuasive argument.
But the job isn't done when the deal gets signed. Not at all. The final and maybe the most important piece of this whole puzzle is closing that loop and proving the value directly to the client.
And how do they do that? Through a dedicated client portal. It's this completely transparent space where the client can see the results for themselves in real time.
So from the client's side of things, everything is crystal clear. They can see their active projects, their total savings to date, that they're down 32% versus their baseline, and they get a real-time ROI tracker. This just completely transforms the relationship. It's not a one-time report anymore. It's an ongoing, transparent partnership that's built on data you can actually verify. It proves the savings are real.
So, when you see a tool like this, it really makes you think, doesn't it? It just shows how focused data, when you combine it with deep expertise, can make our infrastructure so much more efficient. And that leads to a final, bigger question. If we can do this for buildings and factories, what other complex systems out there in our world are just waiting to be optimized?